if we encourage everybody to go to A&E straight away, they'll just end up being a queue down the road there as well. So it's really to reinforce it's that relentless decline, that seriously ill child, things are really getting from bad to worse. Those are the children that need to go straight to hospital rather than hang on the phone.
8 children have died in the UK since September from a Strep A infection. This is still rare, but it seems to be on the increase. Let's talk now to Professor Adam Finn, Professor of Paediatrics at the University of Bristol. He was a regular on the show during the pandemic, of course. Good to speak to you again, Adam.
Hi, Stig. How are you?
Very good, thank you. I am worried about this. I know these are very small numbers, and you can talk to us about the rarity of this, but I've got young children, and it's cropped up as a conversation more than once over the last few days. How worried are we right to be?
Well, absolutely right to be worried. It's a tragedy, enormous tragedy for these families. We're not used in our society to losing the lives of previously healthy children. This is something that's very shocking and concerning. What we've got to do is get the balance right here. On the one hand, not alarm people whose children are mildly ill, and there are a lot of mildly ill children around at the moment, but at the same time, help people and support people to seek care and attention when their children become seriously ill, relentlessly sicker and sicker as the hours go by. Those are the children that need to be urgently seen.
So talk to us about that. So if your child comes home with a bit of a cough, you just keep an eye on them. If they start to get a temperature that struggles to come down, if they start to get floppier, that's when you start to worry.
Exactly. Children who've got what you might call run-of-the-mill viral infections, and indeed adults too, you feel really grotty and then you feel better again for a while, and then you have another period of feeling unwell. Things go up and down, but you continue to eat and drink. You continue to be able to have conversations. You just feel rotten, have a headache. Children who've got invasive bacterial infection, they don't have those episodes of feeling better. They just get worse and worse. They stop eating, they stop responding, they sleep a lot. They might complain if they are awake of aches and pains and headaches. They might have a rash or a sore throat or tummy ache, but they just get sicker and sicker. And when you see that progressive decline, that's the time to get the child to medical attention.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You call up 111. We've had a woman call us today that said it took 12 hours to get back to her and effectively missed a whole day because of that. GP surgeries sometimes are hard to get to. We should try and get to a GP first. There was a minister in the House of Lords yesterday saying, though, if it's your child and you can't get to a GP and these are the symptoms, you should take them to A&E. Do you agree with that?
Well, of course, that is what lots of people do all the time anyway, even when the NHS isn't under such pressure as it is at the moment. The danger, of course, is that if we encourage everybody to go to A&E straight away, they'll just end up being a queue down the road there as well. So it's really to reinforce it's that relentless decline, that seriously ill child, things are really getting from bad to worse. Those are the children that need to go straight to hospital rather than hang on the phone. If you're less concerned, it's fine to seek advice over the phone, NHS 111 or from the GP. But if your child's really sick, then don't hang around.
What about how we deal with children who aren't currently sick? This idea of sort of a prophylactic use of antibiotics. The history of antibiotics is that we use too many of them and there's therefore immunity starting to happen to them, which is not good. But is this such a serious potential illness that actually we should reverse that thinking and start using antibiotics more?
Well, we do give antibiotics to children who are in very close contact or other family members in very close contact of a severe case. Usually in a school, it's if there are 2 cases of group A strep disease. This is a bug that's reliably sensitive to penicillin. But of course, antibiotics only in the body for a short period of time. So as long as you've taken them for a day or 2, they may have some effect. But then once you stop taking them, that effect is gone. So we don't want to be dishing out antibiotics willy-nilly. It needs to be done in a planned way. And that will happen when there are these severe cases. But people shouldn't be seeking antibiotics just in case.
And just finally, a lot of people saying this is to do with lockdown, that for an illness, COVID, that didn't badly affect children, we've compromised our children's immunity because we kept them from mixing. How fair a charge is that, Adam?
Well, yeah, that's a good and big question, Stig. I mean, the truth is that COVID doesn't make healthy children very sick. And children did have their lives massively disrupted during pandemic with loss of social contact, loss of education, and so on. So I think many of us feel in retrospect, we may have overdone that. And of course, we've also disrupted the circulation of other infections to a great degree. And that may be partly responsible for these kind of problems we're seeing now.
So we can draw something of a line between non-mixing and the rise in Strep A.
Well, hypothetically, yes. I mean, there are fewer children who got Strep A during the pandemic, for sure. It went away, we didn't see it, and those children therefore don't have the immunity to it that they would have had. And also, I think all the virus infections that have come charging back now are playing a part in this. Bacterial viral interactions are very much part of invasive bacterial disease. So yeah, I mean, but it's always easy to be wise in hindsight, and we need to learn from what we did this time around and make sure we get it right if this ever happens again.
Well